Hi there. I've just been delivering IOSH Managing Safely training today in Newcastle. It's been a great day and been lots of discussion on the course about managing people and how to deliver feedback or criticism when you catch someone who's working unsafely. It's not really part of the course. It's not in the IOSH Managing Safety syllabus, but I do think it's an important conversation to have. Happy to have these diversions because if you don't know how to manage people, you can't really manage safely. And the goal of the course is to help people learn how to manage safely. So one of the delegates talked about the feedback sandwich, which I am no fan of. The feedback sandwich, if you don't know what it is, you say something positive, you give the feedback, and then you say something positive. So it's a sandwich in between two positives. You know, it's the I call it the shit sandwich. Because you've got two positives, they're the slices of bread, and you've got a piece of shit in the middle, which no one wants to hear. I'm not a fan of this technique. It's very cliched, but the biggest reason I'm not a fan, and this might be offensive to some people, but I think it's a coward's technique. There, I said it. It's a coward's technique. People who use this are being cowardly, because you use it when you're fearful. You're fearful of the conflict. You're fearful of upsetting someone. You're fearful of the negative reaction. So you're trying to protect that person's feelings. It also comes across as being a little bit manipulative too. It's manipulative because you're trying to protect their feelings. You're trying to manipulate them into being receptive, into liking you. Then you say what you really mean. So it's also deceitful because you end up starting with a positive, which you don't really mean. Then you say what you really mean, and then you end with something which you don't mean. So it's kind of like deceitful and manipulative and cowardly. And if you don't cringe when delivering the feedback sandwich, then, well, I don't know, God help you. Internally, I feel such shame when I even think about it. It's also so cliched and such a well-known technique that a lot of people recognize it when you deliver it, and they'll probably just ignore you. It will undermine your credibility. So how do you deliver feedback? There are lots of ways you could deliver feedback. Many ways. It takes a long video to go through them all. Here's a nice simple way of delivering feedback. Let's say you find an engineer who's working on a machine that's not isolated or locked off. A feedback sandwich would be, hi, I can see that the work area is really tidy, positive. However, the machine is not isolated or locked off, which is really dangerous because if anyone turns it on, your hands could get chopped off in an instant. There's the feedback. Let's end with a positive. But you're wearing your PPE, which is really good. Well done. Chances are you're going to get it ignored. This is how I would deliver it instead, or one of the ways. I would just be honest and say what I've noticed. And I would hope to begin with, there's a foundation to this. The foundation is a good relationship. I would like to think I've spoken to this person, met this person, they know me, I know them, we've got good rapport. And I deliver this feedback from a place of affection and understanding and a desire to help them improve. I'm not out to get them. I'm not being aggressive or violent with this in any way. I would say, hi, I can see that you're working on the machine. You've got a breakdown there. And I've noticed that the machine is not isolated and it's not locked off. So that's step one. Here's what I can see. Step two, what are the consequences, the negative consequences? Now, if someone switches the machine on and the control panel is just over there, if someone switches it on and your hands are in there, you're not going to get a chance to pull them out before your fingers or hands get pulled off or wrapped around the belt. And that's going to be a life-changing injury. Then step three, we explain the standard. They hopefully should already know the standard. You say, as you well know, the standard is, doesn't matter how urgent this breakdown is, but unless you have permission from the site manager to bypass the lockout tagout system, so all machines should be isolated and locked off before you start removing the guards. And that procedure is there to make sure that you are safe and that you go home tonight to your family with all of the bits and pieces that you came to work with still attached to you. So there's a 4-step process. This is what I see. This is the negative consequences of what you're doing. This is what we expect. This is the positive impact if you do this as expected. Finally, fifth one, this is a bit of a bonus step, but it's really important. I would add on to this getting commitment from the person. I would ask them, can I count on you to do that in future? So get a promise out of them. Do you promise me that next time you work on a machine like this, you'll always do it? So that's the fifth step. Now, there's a bit more detail in there. You probably want to make sure that you stop the job and get the machine isolated and locked off straight away. So it's like, right, go and do that. And it's probably well worth having a conversation about why. Why did you feel the need to start taking guards off of that isolated machine? You want to get to the bottom of this and start investigating it. So those are some things that you should do as well. But that's the 5-step process. Here's what I've seen. That's a negative consequence. This is what we expect. That would be the positive result if you do it as expected and get commitment. So there we are. That's a good alternative to the feedback sandwich, one of many. And anyway, enjoy yourself. I'm going to enjoy the delights of this Hilton hotel. Catch you later.